if my voice can be picked up by this right now. No, we really don't have much to say about this. Shit. This is just one of the Jesus. This is just one of the games to play whenever you just I don't know where I was going with that actually. I was just hoping to figure something out on the way there. Anyway, this character is really messed up, as in you do anything and it goes like 10, 20 feet up. Wait, is it echoing through my microphone? Yeah, it's echoing through my microphone. What I'm saying is echoing through my microphone. That's weird, actually. And I don't really have much to do on this game besides look for diamonds anymore, because I've already done everything else except actually go to the end. I don't even know if I can go to the end. Oh, Christ. Oh, shit. Alright, so this is where I got all my obsidian right in the portal, because you can see there's a giant chunk there. And, this is stuff that I had to mine with a diamond pickaxe to, like, almost, what felt like 2 or 3 hours. I'm gonna hit this. Yep. I don't know why I was going with that, where I was going. See, right here, this is probably useless, but there's definitely going to be something under there. Because there's usually diamonds next to coal. I know it's just a weird thing, but usually there is. Alright, well, nothing. That was a waste of time. And people have been making stuff out of blocks on this. I have no idea how they do it. It probably takes a long time. I don't have the patience to do that. Yeah, let's see, is it there? Nope, I can just go under this. No, I can't. No, I cannot. Christ. I'm gonna turn this down actually because it's picking up pretty loudly. And there's an advertisement. Whoa! There's an advertisement in my fucking video. Oh, it wasn't an advertisement by my video. It was a different thing. It was another show. I just got excited over nothing. I mean, I know it's just a stupid advertisement, but it kind of means that you got enough views to get an advertisement. Yeah, I'm still alive on here. Anyway, in reality, this is just kind of gets boring after a while. You just keep doing the same stuff over and over again, but you find diamonds and you kind of just feel that little bit of excitement, and then you just keep going, you keep going, and keep going. And you find some more, and then it just repeats. Jesus Christ. And I can see why people stopped playing it. I mean, I did for a while too. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't. But I don't know how to use the offhand thing on this, so. Oh well, found some redstone. That usually is a good sign. Anyways. I don't see the point in having those just randomly everywhere. Actually, I'm going up. Now I think about it. Get this finished. Well, there has to be something. You can't just end. There we go. That took a while. The music's messing up now. That's just one thing you get stuck in your head randomly if you play it as a kid. It's the music, because it's really good music. It's, I guess not good music, it's just a good soundtrack to this game. It kind of fits the whole peaceful tone of it mostly. And I found absolutely nothing around there. I don't even know if I was deep enough down to find any diamonds. You'd think you would be. See, the whole thing in this game is finding diamonds. You find diamonds, you can make better gear and an enchanting table and all that stuff. You just need to find more for the enchanting table, so. See, that's bedrock, so I'm going to go up one. I swear to God if there's a diamond right there. It looks like there is, so. And plus it's right above bedrock, and usually it just kind of goes by the whole, the further down it is, the higher the chance you have. There's not a diamond here. Never mind, I'm going to keep mining this though, because I kind of need the coal. You know, usually people make terrible jokes on here, like, just to appease kids and stuff, like, talk about whatever crappy trend they're following, like something like Fortnite or something, but it's easy not to do, but I guess you kind of want to do it because you're so used to hearing it when you watch people play these games, which I don't watch people play the games anymore. honestly. I stopped doing that whenever they started trying to appeal to the whole wider audience thing, instead of just going to their original audience now, and kind of evolving with them, letting more, you know, I guess, better jokes, not more jokes, because the more yes, suck it, Jesus Christ. You really forget how easy they are to find on here, really. You just have to mine and mine and mine. You'll eventually find some. It just takes a while compared to other things. There's iron. Jesus Christ. Oh, I thought it was going to be like that. It was right above bedrock. One block over. Oh. I mined. Oh, that was a stupid thing to say. I mined all the way back into the other room, pretty sure. No, this is a different room, I think. This is different. Yeah, it's a different room. I'm gonna cover this up, though, so I don't die. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, forgot about that little detail. What? Alright, so, what was that? I heard the playback and it sounded like some kind of Enderman, whatever you call him. I put emphasis on the man, because I just think it sounds better. But it sounded like one of the teleportation sounds or whatever they do before they come behind you, which is absolutely just kill you, basically. Because you can't kill them unless you have a diamond sword. You can, but it takes hours to do and it takes forever. Not hours, that's an exaggeration. See, I really can't make many jokes about this. It's like, I have a lot of material, but... You got a fuck ton of cobblestone, though. And you can't even do anything with it. You can build your house like I did, but... Which is probably the most resourceful thing to do with it, considering you get basically thousands of them over the course of the game if you decide to play it all the way through. Which it technically never ends. Yeah, the game technically never ends, but if you decide to play it all the way through to the end, you'll mine more than enough cobblestone. Like, you'll use some of it, but you won't actually use a lot of it. And most of it you'll just end up dying and it'll end up disappearing or something, but... Jesus Christ, why is there so much iron in this game? Like, there's just a ton of different chunks of iron that I've found so far, and I can't even do much with them now. I'm far enough to where it'll be more useful to get some diamonds or stuff like that. But the thing is, in this one, I have a village like near the place that I live, but I don't go there because it's one of those terrible villages that doesn't have a blacksmith or anything. See, the villagers without the blacksmith are basically just the most useless things that I've ever met in a video game. Not met personally, but came against, because you know, you can't do anything with them. All they're trading is just paper for 18 emeralds and stuff, and it's just stupid. Like, why would you waste that many emeralds if you have to actually mine them yourself? And they're really hard to find, by the way. Just to get some 10, 20 pieces of paper. Now, I can see if you did it because you needed some, what's it called? Bookshelves or something for an enchantment table or enchanting table. I'm just so used to calling it that stuff. But see, 9 out of 10 times on this, you find something absolutely useless like this, and is andesite maybe? Granite. Can't do much with granite. Granite's basically just a lesser form of cobblestone. The thing is, you get so much of it because it's just the same thing as cobblestone. It's just as common as cobblestone that you can't really store it anywhere. You're just throwing it in some lava somewhere. And that's the problem with it. I mean, not that it's an actual problem considering you have to go through all these things to get to the good stuff, which is the whole point of the game. But Jesus Christ. I'm gonna keep going until all my stuff breaks. But seriously, 9 out of 10 times you find dirt in places that are just really inconvenient because I never bring a shovel down here because I'm retarded. But you find just dirt in really stupid places, and like it's around ores usually, but you don't really. There we go, more diamonds. Jesus Christ! All right, I don't even know what to do with all these, honestly. There's something you get to kind of keep, I guess. See, redstone. If there's redstone this low, it's usually diamonds next to it. That's something you end up learning over time, about 523 hours into this game. And no, that's not an exaggeration, I probably spent 523 hours in this game. I mean, given it was the older versions too counted, but I don't know how long I spent on my iPod. Well, iPod Touch, the older ones. It's just hard to see after a while. See, that's another thing. You can't just carry a torch down here or a lantern. That's something they said, I think they said they were going to add it like way back whenever I was actively playing it all the time. They never did, even though it would be just convenient overall. And because instead of having to constantly place torches and keep going, you have some kind of constant light you could use. And I think there's something like if you go 3 days without sleeping, one of those phantom dudes spawn, it's just a headache. See, I don't know how quiet my voice is. This is like a dollar store headset. See, look at that. It's really almost completely useless now because I have so much of it. Just kind of like I guess the best analogy would be the economy. You know, the more diamonds you get, the less they're worth, and it eventually gets to the point where they're worth basically nothing, and then no one wants them anymore, and you can't sell them, so you just have a bunch of diamonds that are basically just the equivalent of dirt. So you try to just get rid of them because, again, they have no point after you've had so much of them. See, redstone. Redstone is something you just run into a lot here too, and it's not really for much of a reason if you really think about it, because it's one of the less useful ones unless you want to make something, but I don't know anyone who would make a redstone machine in survival, because survival is mostly just getting a bunch of diamonds and making weapons and stuff and then fighting the ender dragon. Creative's where you actually create stuff and you get infinite amounts of stuff to create, unless you just want to, I don't know, build something to the build limit on here just to say you have before. You know, everyone says don't dig straight down on this, and it started before they had lava, I think, was the whole thing. And I guess you fall into a cave, because I think they had caves before they had lava. See, most people who still play this game today played it an insane amount when they were little, and it's just something they do because they're used to it. Because you get used to doing something and then you eventually just want to do it for the rest of your life. I don't even know where I'm going with this. It just sounds really stupid. I guess it's just a topic to talk about and I'm trying to milk it for everything it's worth. But yeah, seriously, this is mostly just for nostalgia purposes. This is why people play it. See, it's a fun game too. But the thing is, most people just play it to remember like 2013, 14, 15. Which some people who are actually on the internet right now don't even remember those times. As in, well, they were alive during them, likely, but they don't remember them at all. Because it was just, they were like 2 or 3 at that time. This game is almost 10 years old, and about 2022 I would have been playing it for exactly a decade. Because I got it on the Pocket Edition Lite in 2012, I think. And yeah, it is one of the greatest games that I've played. I can list off my 10 best games right now. See, it's going to be harder eventually, because I played a lot of good ones, but not a lot of great ones. Like, for example, I didn't like God of War. I didn't like the new one. Honestly, I just think it's too different from the other ones. So it wasn't the best game that I had, but I have played it. I've played a lot of it, but it's just not something that holds my attention as other games do. Like Dying Light I like that. I like Watch Dogs, but I guess because I didn't get really excited for it like everyone else did, think it's going to be the greatest game of all time, which of course is always a bad thing to do with any form of media, not just video games, because you overestimate something, you're going to be disappointed. So I didn't get too excited about Watch Dogs. I just thought, hey, it's going to be a cool game where you get to hack, and it's basically just what I could do for Grand Theft Auto at that point, because I was like, how old was it? It was 2014, released 2014, so I was 11 years old. My parents would not let me get Grand Theft Auto at all, so I had to kind of use that as like a substitute. It wasn't a bad one, but it's not the same feeling as Grand Theft Auto, because I got like a San Andreas last year or something for the PlayStation 2, and it has a different feeling to it, I guess, because it's less serious about itself. It's less full of itself, basically. So it has a different feeling than like Watch Dogs. And I did buy the second one, and it's not my favorite compared to the first. The first one has its own, dark feeling to it. It's kind of like watching Blade Runner, I guess. I'm not comparing the story to Blade Runner. I'm just saying it feels kind of like Blade Runner, and it's dark, kind of thing. But the greatest game that I have right now, one of the best games that I've played ever is the first Red Dead Redemption, not the second one. The second one's good for a different reason. First one's good because of the story. The story in the first one was great. And I'm surprised they haven't made that to a blockbuster movie yet. Then you have Minecraft. You have, let's see, what's another one? I played probably somewhere in the hundreds, because I've done emulators and everything. And I'm going to say probably Pokemon Black is one of them. Definitely Pokemon Black, because that was something that I played a lot. And I know that I just let a lot of lava in this and everything, but then you have, let's see, what's another good game that I played? Modern Warfare 3. That's one that I played a lot when I was a kid. And you have Undead Nightmare, which is kind of the same thing as Red Dead Redemption, which I'm just going to group in with Red Dead Redemption. You have, see, I'm looking at my shelf while I'm saying this, so I can actually have some kind of frame of reference. Then I have some games over here. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, that was a fun game. You have MX vs. ATV Unleashed. And they're bad now, they're a bad company. And that's not just saying bad as in they're bad as in they can't make a decent game anymore. I genuinely think they've sold out to someone, now they're having to just give all the rights, all their stuff to that person. And honestly, it wouldn't be as bad if it was, they were making quality games, but they're not. They actually went down in quality. That's not just me saying that, that's me saying they went down from having, what's just... Yeah, I'm probably going to end the stream in a little bit, actually. I'm going to end it right now, actually.